Rome killed Caesar to save the Republic. They thought it would end the crisis. They thought it would restore order. They thought it would stop one man from taking control of Rome. They were wrong. Because the moment Caesar died, Rome didn't go back to being a republic. It became something else. Something more dangerous. Something permanent. An empire. And the man who would build that empire was not a general, not a king, not even a warrior. He was a boy. A boy Rome completely ignored. That boy was Octavian. He wasn't famous, he wasn't powerful, he wasn't respected. He had no army, no victories, no reputation, nothing except one thing. A name. Julius Caesar. When Caesar's body was carried through Rome, the city was already unstable. Fear, anger, confusion. No one knew what would happen next. Then his will was read, and in that moment, Rome changed again. Because Caesar had made a decision. No one expected. He had chosen an heir. Not a general, not a senator, not one of the most powerful men in Rome. A teenager, Octavian. And with that choice, Caesar gave him everything. His name, his wealth, his supporters, and the most dangerous thing in Rome, his legacy. Rome laughed. They saw a child, not a leader, not a threat, not someone worth fearing. That was their biggest mistake. Because Octavian understood something most powerful men never do. Power is not taken with strength. It is taken with patience. But Octavian was not alone. There was another man, a man Rome already feared. Mark Antony, a soldier, a general, a man who had fought beside Caesar. He had armies, he had experience, he had power. And he believed that power now belonged to him. On one side, Antony. Strong, proven, respected. On the other, Octavian. Young, silent, ignored. Rome thought the future was obvious. They believed Antony would win. They believed Octavian would disappear. They were wrong, because the most dangerous man in Rome was the one no one was watching. Killing Caesar didn't end the violence. It made it worse. Rome was not at peace. Caesar was dead, but his power was everywhere in the city. People were choosing sides. The Senate wanted control. The army wanted a leader. The people wanted stability. And in the middle of all of this, two men were rising. Octavian and Antony. They were completely different. Antony was everything Rome respected. A warrior, a general, a man who had fought beside Caesar. He had the army, he had the reputation, he had the power. Octavian had none of that. But he had something more dangerous. Time. He didn't rush, he didn't attack, he didn't try to dominate. He waited. And while everyone was watching Antony, Octavian started building something invisible. Support, alliances, loyalty. He used Caesar's name. He used Caesar's money. And most importantly, he used Caesar's image. To the people, he was not just Octavian. He was Caesar. And slowly, Rome began to believe it. But Octavian couldn't do it alone. Not yet. So he did something unexpected. He made a deal with the man he would one day destroy. Octavian and Antony joined forces, along with another man, Lepidus. Together, they formed a new power. The Second Triumvirate. 3 men, 1 goal: control Rome. And they took it by force. They made lists, names of enemies, names of senators, names of anyone who stood in their way. Then they started killing, hundreds, then thousands. No one was safe. Rome had never seen anything like it. This was no longer politics. This was survival. The alliance didn't collapse all at once. It cracked, slowly, quietly. 3 men were supposed to rule Rome. But power in Rome was never meant to be shared. Lepidus was the first to disappear. Removed. Now there were only 2, Octavian and Antony. But Antony wasn't in Rome anymore. He had chosen Egypt. And in Egypt, there was Cleopatra. She understood power differently. Through influence, through presence, through control. Antony aligned himself with her. And from that moment, he stopped thinking like a Roman. That was the mistake. Octavian didn't fight with armies first. He shaped perception. He turned Antony into a threat. And Rome believed it. War became inevitable. The final battle came at sea. Actium. Ships burned. Men screamed. Chaos spread. Then Cleopatra fled. Antony followed. And in that moment, he lost everything. His army collapsed. Octavian had won. There was no escape. Antony died. Cleopatra followed. Egypt fell. And Octavian was alone. No enemies, no rivals, only power. But he hid it. He kept the Senate. He kept the laws. He kept the illusion. Rome still looked like a republic. But it wasn't. Octavian became Augustus. Rome became an empire. They killed Caesar to stop a king. Instead, they created something far more dangerous. A system no one could overthrow.